How are you, my dear young learners? I hope you are well in this pandemic situation. I also want that. Today, I am going to teach you about transformation on sentence. Transformation on sentence, that is simple, complex and compound. Simple, complex and compound sentences. According to the clauses and their interactive relation in the sentence, they are classified into two classes. Those are simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. If you want to transform satisfactorily from complex to compound, simple to complex, or complex to compound, you should learn well about clauses and its classification. Clauses and its classification. Clause and its classification. Clause. If you do not have any knowledge about clause and its classification, nobody can transform the sentences from simple to complex, complex to compound, or compound to simple satisfactorily. Clauses are of three classes: subordinate clause, principal clause and coordinate clause. That is, principal clause or independent clause or main clause. Secondly, subordinate clause or dependent clause. Thirdly, coordinate clause, etc. Then I am going to discuss on sentence and its classification. According to the clauses and their interactive relation in a sentence, they are classified into three classes. Sentences are of three classes, such as simple sentence, complex sentence, and three compound sentence. You must have learned about these sentences, its structure and interactive relation in a sentence. So, you have to learn what the sentences are: simple, complex, or compound. Simple sentence. The sentence simple sentence. The sentence which contains a subject, and a finite verb. Finite verb is called simple sentence. In a simple sentence, we can see two important parts, that is subject and finite verb. If any group of words which does not contain subject or finite verb, then it will not be a simple sentence. So, if you identify which sentence is simple, then you have to identify the subject or the subject and the finite verb. If a group of words which contains a subject and finite verb, then it will be a simple sentence, such as he is an honest man. She looks after her parents. In the above sentence, he is a subject and he is verb. So, it is a simple sentence. She, subject, looks after verb. So, it is also a simple sentence, etc. But sometimes simple sentence carries connecting word, such as connecting words, such as Kori and Rohim play chess. Korim and Rohim, subject. But the subject Korim and Rohim is connected with and. But it is a subject. It is only a subject, not more than one subject. So it is also a simple sentence. Another example. He often comes and goes. In this sentence, he subject comes and goes, verb. But here we see two verbs, verb 1, verb 2. And these two verbs are connected with and. But it is only a finite verb. Though it has two verbs and these are connected with and, these verbs are not isolated. These verbs express only one finite verb. So it is also a simple sentence. Definitely you have understood about the simple sentence. Then I'll go to discuss complex sentence. Complex sentence. This sentence which contains a principal clause and one or more than one subordinate clause. Subordinate clause is called a complex sentence, such as I know where he lives. I know, principal clause, he lives, subordinate clause. And these two clauses are connected with where. So it is complex sentence. Another example. She saw me when I was teaching. In this sentence, when is a connecting word that connects two clauses. One is she saw me and the other is I was teaching. So it is a complex sentence. Then I'll go to discuss the number 3 compound sentence. Number 3 compound sentence. The sentence says which are the sentences the sentence which contains principal clause, which contains principal clauses or main clauses with clauses by and but or etc. is called a compound sentence. In a compound sentence, there are more than one principal clauses, maybe 2 principal clauses, 3 principal clauses, 4 principal clauses, and they are connected with but, or, and, not only but also, therefore, etc. These sentences are compound sentence. This time, I'll go to discuss the main point, main topic, transformation on sentences. The sentences are simple, complex, and compound sentence. Firstly, I see complex to compound. If we see some examples and change them, then we'll understand how to transform the sentences from complex to compound. According to the meaning of the sentence, but or yet is used in the middle of the compound sentence instead of though or although. The example, though I went to his house, he did not meet me. Compound. I went to his house. but he did not meet me. We use connecting word but instead of though. So, though is eliminated and but is presented in the middle of the compound sentence. Next, example 2, complex. Although he is not sick, he feels weak. Although compound, he is not sick, first clause. But or yet he feels weak. We use yet to connect two principal clauses. He is not sick and he feels weak instead of although. Instead of although, we use yet in the middle of the compound sentence to connect two principal clauses. One is he is not sick and the other is he feels weak. Sure, you have understood the system how to change the sentences from complex to compound. Number 2. According to the meaning of the sentence, and therefore, or and so, or and at once are used after the first clause instead of since, or as, or when, or as soon as, etc. Remember, since or as is eliminated and put and therefore or and so, and instead of when, and at once instead of as soon as. Since he was ill, since he was ill, he could not attend the meeting. Compound. If we transfer transform the example into compound. He was ill, and therefore he could not attend the meeting. We use and therefore instead of since. Firstly, I have written the first clause. He was ill, and we use